Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Insurance Survivor Podcast. I'm Brian Gleize with the Scott Insurance Agency, and during this podcast, my goal is to help give you tips and tricks to outplay, outwit, and outlast the insurance game. I loved the show Survivor back in the day, and I still do. So today's topic is going to be defensive driving, not only for you, but I also want you to share this with your kiddos. Tips and tricks. The first one I've got a show and tell here is a mirror of mine. This mirror it is expandable. It's got spring-loaded parts on it where I can just snap it on to my rear view mirror. This one's called a lane changer, and if I turn it this way, you can kind of see that it's got this concave attitude to it. And really what that does when I just strap that over the top of my rear view mirror is it gives me better access to my blind spots. Now, I'm not there right now, so don't call me old, but I can tell you that the older that I get, the more difficult it is to get my head and my body turned over so that I can look out that blind spot. And same thing over here. I want to make sure that you and your kiddos are physically checking those blind spots before you change lanes. This helps immensely because with this, extending my blind spot zone, I can then adjust my outside mirrors on my car to see what I need them to see, and that's what's out in that lane beside me. Please check your kiddos' mirrors, and that can be difficult since you're not the same size and shape as they are. Make sure when they look at their mirror on the side, on the left side of their car or the right side of their car, that their mirror is not showing them the side of their car. We know where the side of their car is at. We need to know what's out a little bit further. So mirrors of huge importance. Happens a lot as far as claims goes where, man, I didn't get that blind spot checked correctly. The next thing that I want to talk to you about is when you or your kiddos are getting on the highway. When you're getting on the highway, there are a lot of people that as they're coming down that on-ramp, their expectation is, get the heck out of my way. Can't you see that I'm coming? Sometimes you've got good humans that will get over and let you in. Sometimes there's a situation where the traffic's stacked up and they can't get over. But when you or your kiddo is at the top of that on-ramp, I want them to start looking at the highway and find the hole. And then I want them to hit that hole. Sometimes it means they're going to need to speed up. Sometimes it means they're going to need to slow down. But in either instance, make sure they're at least looking and that they don't have the expectation, well, that guy just wouldn't get over and I had to get on the median and everything like that. No, I would love to say that everybody is kind and polite and they get over, but they don't. So have them literally look as they're going down the on-ramp, find their hole, adjust their speed in order to hit that hole. It's the safest play. Doesn't mean that it won't frustrate the heck out of you sometimes, but it's the safest play. Find the hole and hit the hole. Safe distance from the vehicle in front of you. Well, what is that? You can go on YouTube, you can take a look at it, but the way I was trained to do it is to pick a stationary object on the side of the road, maybe a mile marker or a sign or something like that. And when the car in front of you passes that sign, you start counting. 1001, 1002, 1003. And by the end of that 3 count, the front of my car should be at that same sign. That's how I was trained to keep a safe distance from the vehicle ahead of you. Because what we know is that if you impact the vehicle ahead of you, I don't really care why, it's going to be your fault. And that's problematic. The other problem with keeping a safe distance from the vehicle in front of you is that everybody will slide in there. Everybody will slide in there. And I can tell you it frustrated the snot out of Jacob whenever I was teaching him to drive because they would slide in there. And I would say, I really don't care. Back off that person. Make sure that you have enough time to stop. Eliminate distracted driving. Wow, that's huge in today's world with the cell phones, with the radio, with people in the car, with other people around you. Some goofball on a motorcycle goes by doing wheelies, or somebody swerves around you. Keep your focus on the road. So difficult. But the top two things that I tell people is keep a safe distance and don't drive distracted. If you can conquer those two things, the overwhelming majority of accidents will not be your fault. Next topic is tech gadgets. Forward-facing cameras and rear-facing cameras. I have a love-hate relationship with these things because I think they are so important in today's legal society where everybody wants to sue everybody. So I had one on my car before it was totaled, and no, it was not my fault. I had the forward-facing and the rear-facing, and boy, I really researched this gadget out. And the problem is the technology. You can have a forward and a rear-facing camera, but if you can't get the doggone thing to download to your cell phone, or you don't have an apparatus to get the memory card out and look at the video, it's all for naught. So I think that forward and rear-facing cameras are huge in today's society. It leaves no questions to be asked if your light was green, red, or yellow. You can get the license plates number of the people in front or behind you. If you've got somebody coming in and boy, they swerve around and then cut you off, and I've got that on the rear and forward-facing camera, it's a big deal. So I encourage you to do your own research. Police reports are the next thing that I want to talk about. Always get a police report. Now, we will live and die by the police report. This is true. But if you don't get a police report, it's just a he said, she said, vice versa. And that's never going to go well. When the police are on the scene, make sure that you tell them your side of the story to its fullest extent. While you are there, I even want you tracking down witnesses. Well, it's not the easiest thing to do if you've just been in an accident. You're nervous, there's sirens, there's people standing around and looking, so I understand it's a stressful environment. But always, always, always call the police and get a police report. So those are just a few of the major tricks and tips that I see. You know, whether it's this gadget I got off of Amazon, and it's incredibly cheap, but it's well worth the money because it opens up my blind spot. It allows me to adjust my mirrors out. Still to this day, because I was trained, I still look over my shoulder, and I want you to teach your kids to do that. Pick your spot as you're going down the highway on the on-ramp. Don't expect people to move over. Make sure your kids are using their blinkers. My wife, God bless you, Jill, is one of them that will say, they're not letting me in. Well, you don't have your blinker on. Turn your blinker on. That's what that thing's there for. Hello, please let me in. Police reports, seat belts. Don't drive distracted. Take a time out during dinner time and talk to your kids. Have a safety stop with your kids before they go out this weekend. It will pay dividends on your insurance premiums, on your health insurance premiums. No hospital visits, no ER visits, chiropractic, rehabilitation, follow-ups will keep our claims down this way. But above all, be kind to other people that are out there. Go ahead, let them in. Get off their tail. They're in a bigger hurry than you are. It's just crazy, a lot of the things that we see. And the people that just shake the money tree to see if they can get any money out of someone, even though it might not have been your fault. Those cameras can help with that. Let's just be smart and look out for one another. Guys, thank you. Please share this podcast. My name's Brian from the Scott Insurance Agency. Have a great day. Bye-bye.